What's good, everybody? Zex here. So, to continue on from the last segment, the kingdom had gotten remarkably stronger because of what they went through. Their numbers shot up from 2 to about 23 to 25. And they were grinding resources and taming creatures much faster. Topside had a few people that loved breeding as much as she did. So they were breeding great lines and getting that built up. And they were going on blueprint run. They were doing pretty good. Topside then decided she's going to explore the island a lot more and find a more suitable position for their base. And she ended up finding Herbie Island. Now, when she proposed the idea to Nuke for the kingdom to move to Herbie Island and make that their permanent spot, they all loved it. However, they didn't know, back then you didn't know which spots were really considered the alpha spots. The alpha tribe of the server were built in the Oasis at the time, but no one knew that Herbie Island's one of the other alpha spots because it's hard for tribes to raid you when you're on that island, if you defend it properly, that is. Well, they all loved the idea. They had enough creatures and resources to make it happen, so they went for it. Now, when they did, they didn't understand at the time how much of an impact that would make on their tribe, good and bad, because as far as the good side, with enough tribe members, they were able to fortify it very well, very quick. They instantly became the hardest tribe to attack, not because of power or numbers, but because of position. The Alpha tribe was still stronger, but the Alpha tribe wouldn't be able to successfully fully raid that base because of the position. So that move made them the strongest defensible base. And at the time, the current beta tribe on the server started resource hogging the volcano. Now, if you play Ark now, you understand that Ark now at the volcano, it's like it had erupted and it's got this huge hole going in with lava and all. It didn't have that back then. It was just a volcano with a top with a small indenture that had like metal and obsidian and crystal, and then just a circular top. The beta tribe at the time decided to turret up the top and start building in the volcano to monopolize the resources there. That created a huge problem for the Alpha tribe when they decided they wanted to go to the volcano to gather some materials, and a couple of their members got shot down and they lost their tames. Some pretty good ones too. And they had reached out and told the beta tribe, we need you to not resource guard. You have to get off the volcano. It's not for where that's not the type of server we're going to run. The beta tribe did not want that, and they were even saltier because no one had told them, or no one had warned the kingdom that the beta tribe originally wanted to move to Herbie Island themselves. They were just, as they claim, waiting for the right moment. And they had told the Alpha tribe, we'll move off of here if you tell the kingdom to relocate so we could take the spot we wanted. The Alpha tribe wasn't playing that childish game of theirs and said no. So the beta tribe decided to take a step further and fully fortified the volcano topside and fully decided to move their base there, which became a huge problem. There are other metal spots, but that volcano was the primary biggest spot for those type of resources. And it was the safest, because there was nothing really up there to attack you while you were safely getting your materials. Well, the Alpha tribe had then went to Nuke and they had discussed what should they do about this problem. Topside suggested and butted it and suggested we should warn them one more time. And if they don't, then we should do something about it. Well, sure enough, they got the beta tribe in the group chat, and they said the same thing. They're not moving. Well, with that all said and done, the Alpha tribe and the kingdom knew that there's no way that they could raid that position. it was too difficult to rate it with what they all currently have. The Alpha Tribe had the superior attacking force, but that top position was just too much of a defensible spot for what they had. Well, Nuke had then suggested, let's hold off for a little bit. Let me reach out to other Alpha Tribes from different servers and see if we can create what we've been talking about, a coalition of different servers, of different Alpha Tribes, to have an open network of trading with, to do dungeon run and boss runs with, and essentially defend each other when needed. And the Alpha Tribe agreed that probably would be a great thing to do. So Nuke went on to different servers to try to find them, and it took him a while because no one trusts anyone in PvP often. But after a few weeks, Nuke had actually successfully gotten 3 other Alpha Tribes from different servers to join them in the coalition. And they had all gotten together and agreed a good way to solidify this new alliance with everyone is use the opportunity to get rid of the Beta Tribe who's starting their shit and work together in the fight. So the different tribes had collected different items and different creatures to pitch into the fight. One tribe even donated a Giga for the fight. Another tribe donated a couple tankers for the fight. And it took a while. I think it was a full 2 days worth of fighting, of hit and runs and strategically trying to tighten out the bullets from the turrets. It took a while, and they finally did. They finally succeeded in doing so. They had lost a lot. They lost the Giga that was donated. They lost a couple of the tank dinos. They lost a couple good gear. The volcano was covered in respawn point beds, but they successfully were able to wipe out that tribe off of there, which, as you know, that means a time of promotion. If they're no longer the Beta Tribe through strength, that means the kingdom was the next up as far as strength goes. Now, the kingdom had lost even more creatures and even more resources than all the other tribes. So the other Alpha Tribes agreed, let the kingdom have the spoils of war. Nuke from the kingdom was responsible for getting everyone together. It would be a nice reward for the kingdom for accomplishing that. And they did just that. They wiped off everything off the volcano to make sure that it didn't affect spawn, and the kingdom had gathered all the resources and stuff and a couple ascended blueprints that they didn't have. And they ultimately became even stronger when they brought everything back to Herbie Island. Now, this whole thing, again, this whole issue with that original Beta Tribe, that lasted a few weeks. And everyone's attention was so focused on that no one realized that there was an actual threat on that map, on that server that moved there, that kept its head down. And it was an even worse threat than what the Beta were doing. But no one saw it coming. After the whole thing went down, the kingdom had spent a good couple days of pure grind. Like Nuke said to everyone, we are doing a pure grind of silica pearls and everything. They did nothing but turret up their island. The problem that they ran into next, because let's face it, it's fucking Ark. If it's not one thing, it's another. If it's not a Perlovia popping up and taking you off your tame, it's a fucking another problem right around the corner. And Nuke had decided to take Topside and a couple members from the Alpha Tribe to do one of the dungeon runs that they haven't done before for the artifact that was on Carno Island. As soon as they got to Carno Island, Every one of them were shot off their tames. Now, this is where I'm going to end it. I thank you all for listening in again. As usual, I will update the next part tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, you know what to do. And as usual, get good.